John, do you think Rowoon will be happy if you be like this? If Jungkook made Rowoon's mother sad, then he will hate his this dad, and the image of his super dad will be forever removed from his life. The fact that Jungkook will never be good enough to him will also haunt your son's dream of having his own dad. Your son is really protective to your feelings. He will never give anyone chance to hurt you. The person who will hurt you will be hated by your son for sure. The man slowly turned back to see you with his cold expression. You both look at each other for a few times. He didn't seem to have any intention of coming over, so at the end you walked towards him and stood right in front of him. Something strange feelings with disappointment flashed in your eyes. When you saw him looking at you with his complicated gaze, you forced a smile. Are you planning to avoid me now? His lips moved, but he didn't talk. He narrowed his eyes seriously. You must make things clear with him today. I know this matter was hidden from you. It's my fault to hide it from you for long. But the reason that it's hidden from you was because there was many information. You exhaled deeply. Back then, when I got to know about this, I didn't even dare to confirm it myself. Because I didn't even knew that the person that night was you. Can you think about my mental state? If I knew that the person that night was you, then I wouldn't agree to marry into your own family and bear all humiliation and insult. Thinking back to how he kept saying that you were pregnant with a man and gold digger who loves money and all, and the women who have no sense, and he even thought that you were extremely stupid. A woman whose husband cheated and even after divorced kept child, so Jungkook couldn't think that you could be the one he was searching for all around the city. But who would thought that pregnant women inside his room was the women of that night? All the vision Jungkook had was for that woman. What that woman was naive, innocent, or inexperienced in a particular context. And after a month he married the woman was different, who was already divorced after she spent her 1 year with her husband and was pregnant. And how could he think that the woman that night was actually you during that year? Jungkook's heart somehow became excited. Kim Seokjin will know about this matter before anyone else because he is my brother and he took care of me for 5 years, and for Yoon Jong Han. Jungkook narrowed his eyes, his nerves scaled racking hearing that person's name from your mouth. It's just a coincidence. A coincidence? He finally opened his mouth and your heart that was hanging halfway finally relaxed. If he is willing to speak, then you can have chance to explain it to him. He will hear it. I and Rowoon went to supermarket months ago and we met him coincidentally there. That's all, and he might already guess about Rowoon. Jungkook's eyes darkened. When he went to supermarket, then why such a coincidence opportunity didn't happen to him? Suddenly he grabbed your wrist. Did he knew about this before? His action was little rough. In the past, everyone knew, but not him. It made Jungkook unable to move from that topic. You shook your head? I don't think so. He was quite surprised to see Rowoon at that time. Even Jung Han knew in advance it's because you were pregnant after marrying into Joan family, and he would only think that this child was Jungkook's. Seeing such a familiar visual, people don't have to go and investigate. Jungkook is so angry that he gnashed his teeth. He is just a mistress son. How he deserved to know this before me. If you let me know this earlier, maybe he would never made you suffer this way. Have you forgotten how you treated me back then? I went to look for you, but you were the one who shut me out. Are you going to blame me now? You sighed and disappointment rose into your heart. Forget it. Are you still going to ignore me? You smiled bitterly. I give you time to think about it. If you think that your ego is important than us, you took your phone out. Since you can't overcome this hurdle, then what are you trying to say? He interrupted. His eyes turned sinister when you looked up at him, and his face turned livid. You should know very well what I want to say. I have given you time already to think of it. These days is not enough for you, then I feel that you don't need to think about it anymore. You let out a shaky breath. I gave birth to Rowoon. Even you are his biological father. You can't take him away. He frowned and eyes filled with anger. Say it again. This woman actually wanted to separate from him. His gaze was fierce, but you didn't avoid it. What right do you have to snatch him away? He questioned boldly. He laughed in anger. Kim Wyan, so you give me these days to spend time with my son, and now you are here to tell me to separate. Have you even thought of the consequences? Maybe he would felt guilty if that night's woman wasn't you and came to him after finding child's father, cause he didn't fulfill his responsibility as a father and he have no rights, but in the law winning chance for him is still high. If it was not this woman, then he would never been this much desperate. Today you didn't come here to tell him to separate, but seeing his unmoved attitude, you felt somehow wrong. He didn't even contact you, who used to spam you with many calls and even make things hard for you coming your back and forth. Then what about now? So many things had happened. Wouldn't he feel wrong? He wasn't the only one who kept in the dark. You only found out this after you give birth to Rowoon, and it take you time to slowly accept this fact. Your eyes move around, tears are filling in the eyes, and you turn your back to him. Yes, I already have thought about it. Since you can't overdone the things, then let us live our life. We were living well without you too. The man's big hand pulled your shoulders to face him and said viciously, So I have been forcing you. He was stunned when he saw tears in your eyes. The mental defense he had built over was collapsed at that moment. Women, why are you crying? What was that? Are you the only one feeling wrong? He also made a mistake on it, okay? He have to bear the consequences. His son wasn't willing to acknowledge him. Who's pitiful now? There seemed to be something sharp piercing into his heart, and it's hard for him to breathe calmly. Before he could react, you started to push him. Did you ask my permission before doing things? You were the one who forced me, and you are the one who is feeling wrong now. You said that you wanted to acknowledge a child. You had to. You shed a tears and choked on own words. He reached out to hold your face, wiping the tears, but it comes out more and more. He gritted his teeth and said, somewhat at a loss, Don't cry. From the beginning to till now, his heart itched when this woman started to cry, so he felt really annoyed on it. Things like emotions were hard to get down. When they came up, you either don't want to cry in front of him, not to give him illusion that made him part in your life in sympathy, but it's not in your hands to control your emotions. You wanted to avoid him, so you started to push him, but he tightly held your face between his hands and lowered his head to kiss you. His actions were tender while kissing your face. You want me? Try and take me. You should, cause why not? This is your man after all. You were stunned and stood blankly. This person was the one made you cry cause of his ignorance, but now he's the one making you stop crying. This person could be poison and then medicine for your heart. He slowly wiped your tears. He knows how to emulate and win this woman's emotion. He slowly backed away, holding your hands and placed it on his heart. Your fingers trembled. You felt his heart thumping. He looked into your red eyes deeply. No matter how angry I was these days, but I never thought of breaking up with you, and you actually dare to mention that you are going to break up with me. A cruel woman, your lips trembled. Isn't this what you want when you ignored me? Would you have come to look after me? Probably, because his softness made you feel a little better, that you stopped crying and just wanted to argue with him. Who said I wouldn't go? Then why did you ignore me when I just called you? He fell into silence. Could he say that he missed you a lot these days and felt that he was having illusion? You said I stuck and clung to you. Then I thought that you will take initiative to look for me, he argued back. You are stunned. You mean you thought that I was pushing you off? His expression was serious and face darkened. It doesn't matter anymore. What it matters is he have women right in front of him now who took the initiative to come after him. Then what is important to you? You casually asked. You and my son. His big hands hold your face firmly. What did you think? I will leave my baby behind. People around glanced and maybe gossiped, but two of you are so in your own world to hear it. Some seconds later, you subconsciously pushed him. It's fun to give others hard time. He leaned over his tall body to hug you and sighed. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. These days are also torture for me. He rubbed your back. I know you are feeling wrong, but I haven't completely digested this news yet. But I never thought of separating from you. Even if you don't come to look for me, I will. I will go after you. You felt his body temperature transmitting. You felt strange, but the emptiness in your heart gradually disappeared. Closing your eyes, you comfortably attached yourself to him and stretched out your arms to hug him. Who said that everything won't be normal when you hug the person you love? The feeling of getting warmth by the person you love is definitely different and playful. Few days was tough, but when you are in embrace of this man, then nothing matters anymore. Understanding between is the most important thing. Let's go to my place. He slowly pulled you away. You are confused at first. Do you want to go to my place and eat something? It took for you a while to understand his meaning. You over there. It was not convenient for you at your home. It's not good. Making kind of sounds when children are at home. Moreover, Jenny also stayed with you. You still remember the awkwardness facing Jenny at that day. After getting your permission, he held your hand walking towards his car. My car is parked over there. He stopped, narrowing his eyes. Let it be. Tomorrow we will drive here. We will take mine today. After getting into car, he fastened your seat belt. You looked at his side profile. It's sharp and attractive. We'll go to fetch our son first. He started the engine. Actually, Jenny already went to pick up Rowan at school. His hands that was on steering tightened and he frowned. He can stay with her overnight. Well, Rowan stayed with Jenny most of the time. You usually don't get time to spend with him, so as a father, Jungkook knew nothing. Jenny immediately turned her head to look at the little boy. Are you okay, Ronnie? Did you catch a cold? She hugged Rowan. Winter is approaching. We should wear thick sweaters now. Aunt Nini, I didn't catch cold. It's just that my nose is little itchy. She smiled, pinching his cute nose. You are really cute. Rowan pouting. Aunt Nini, don't pinch baby's nose. I will look ugly then. You know how to make words, are not you, little devil? She ruffles his hair. Why did you come to pick me up today? Where is Dad? Jenny blinked. Mummy asked me to pick you up today. Did you actually miss your dad now? After staying at Dad's place for 3 days, now Rowan became Dad's little guy. Dad have big place to play and sleep. There is many toys he have brought and the aunties there is really nice. And moreover, Dad have balm in the house. and Rovon started to talk about his dad. Now he looked really happy and excited. Now you likes your dad's place more. Rovon thought for a while. He don't know what to say and just seems thinking hard to get perfect answer. Be obedient. Mummy and dad needs time to develop things. You will be staying with them in the future. That's right, Rovon nodded, but even though he still needs his time to understand his dad. After returning country, you had only come to the villa once. That time, both of you's relationship had not re-established. You just came to receive the merriment. You didn't expect time to pass quickly. The night breeze was cool as you sat on the wooden board wearing pajamas. Looking at sea under the moon, your heart felt calm. The night and sea could calm people's emotions, but when sea breeze blew, you felt cold and hugged your knees. The wind on sea and city is different. You never met a man like Jungkook in your life. He may seem cold and indifferent and don't know how to show his emotions, but he is soft and romantic person inside. The man who know how to cherish a woman. He is indeed your first man you met in your vast life. Now he made it better. Feeling cold, air blowing made you shivers and you were about to get up to go to room. Suddenly tall figure sat beside you and a warm coat dropped over you. You looked at sideways. He had just taken bath and with his clear skin and water still dripping from his wet hair. Why you didn't even wipe your hair? The sea breeze was so strong at night and he just came out wearing pajamas with that wet hair. I'm fine, and you don't know how to wear more clothes in the middle of night? It's seaside place. You shrug your shoulders. If I feel cold, then I would have entered the room myself. But you just finished bathing. You wanted to ruffle his hair, but he grabbed your wrists. His actions was little violent when he pulled you into his embrace and you were plugged into. Your soft face collided onto his heart. What's wrong? You notice there is something happening with him. He lowered his head to bury his head onto the crook of your neck. The cool feeling made your body tremble and you subconsciously pushed his body, but you heard a dull apology. I'm sorry.